Hello, I'm Annalouise, and today I'm going to be talking about creating a gathering. Create a gathering. Why might we want to create gatherings? People are more isolated than before. People often live alone, and also we're passing through a difficult time on planet Earth. And when we come together with a shared intention, it's such a powerful way to build joy, community, support, friendship, and serendipity, creating new connections we might not have ever imagined. And it's so simple to bring people together, but there are so many reasons that perhaps why we don't take that impulse. It may be a lack of confidence or a lack of sense of being qualified, or it might be that we just haven't thought that we could do, or we might think that we haven't got the space that's available or the time. There could be all sorts of reasons. Today I'm going to inspire us all to create more gatherings. Simple, beautiful, and heartwarming gatherings. I'm going to tell a couple of stories up front to inspire us, and then I'm going to give some top tips on how to create gatherings effortlessly in a way that is inspiring and fun and really does help, I think, bring people together in a very down-to-earth way. So story time first. Story time first is about a dear friend of mine, Yvonne, an amazing woman. After the first lockdown, all the official classes were not happening. And so there was no Zumba or no other ways to come together. I was almost going to rhyme come with Zumba then. So she thought, well, I'll run the Zumba class outside, socially distanced. And she isn't a Zumba teacher, but she was just like, well, we want to do Zumba, I'll run it. And so sure enough, she started running 3 Zumba classes a week. And it was so wonderful because it was at a time where there was so little available. Many of us had been isolated in our homes for several months, and it was such a blessing. The momentum of Yvonne starting that then prompted another woman to say, well, maybe I could run aqua aerobics. And so she started a free aqua aerobics class twice a week. And they were on separate days, so people could do classes every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if they wanted to. Then Yvonne decided that she would run a beginner's golf lesson. She's not a golf teacher, but she does play golf, so she's got gifts to share. And that became really popular, so she started running an intermediate golf lesson. And what other lessons resulted? Somebody started offering 2 dance classes, a tap dancing class and another dance class. What else did we have? A walking group. Yvonne set up a walking group, which happened once a week for people that didn't want such physical exercise through the dance classes. And yoga classes. I don't know how I could forget that because I taught some of the yoga classes. So yoga classes. What was amazing about the whole experience is that it created this incredible sense of community where I was living. People got to know each other that had never met each other before. And because everything was free, there was a sense of gratitude and openness and appreciation that one might not get under regular classes. It was a real sense of everyone coming together and offering whatever skills they had to make the most of a difficult time. And these classes ran, some of them are still running, but these classes ran for a whole year. And so many people were touched by the different offerings. Oh, I remember meditation class as well. There was a meditation group. Virtually no one was actually had a qualification in what they were teaching. They were just with an open heart offering their gifts and sharing. So that's one amazing story. I think it's a story of how one person's impulse and commitment changed the life of so many people, and it continues to change people's lives because there's so much stronger community that means that more and more things can happen over and over again. It's just beautiful. So that's the story of Yvonne. And then I will share another story about me. I decided to start running nights where we share music several months ago. And I don't have a musical background. I'm really enjoying music these days, but I definitely don't have a musical background. I definitely don't have any qualifications. And it's been utterly miraculous. Every week, different people turn up with incredible skills and different instruments. And the joy and the love it's brought has been astounding. I noticed the next day after the gathering, I feel so filled up. Like I feel the whole of that day following, I feel really filled up. And I know from speaking to other people that attend the gatherings that they felt the same, that it's like a real highlight for their week. And one of the secrets to those gatherings is we really don't know what's going to unfold. It's very spontaneous, and I just trust the process. I just trust the process, trust who arrives, and I'm constantly surprised by the magic. I think one of the secrets of running gatherings is tapping into something that we're interested in. So that might be poetry, it might be nature, it might be a sport, it might be music, it might be drama. I wonder, what are you interested in? And have you ever thought about bringing people together? And do you bring people together to gather with that? Another friend of mine, Ange, started before the pandemic running full moon gatherings. She would take people off into nature and have a fire and gather people that way. And I know that was very powerful too. So we don't need a particular skill or interest. It can just be something that's around us and exists, and it is an excuse to come together. And we could say, well, why don't we just get together for a cup of tea? Or that's very British, isn't it? Get together for a cup of tea, or whatever it might be. We don't need to have a purpose. My experience is that what really fills people up is opening into new things and sharing them together. So it's nice to come together in those ways of just chatting, and it can be powerful. And I invite us all to try coming together around a more of a shared intention. At the beginning of the music gatherings, every time I have them, I actually go round the circle and ask people, it varies a bit, but it might be like, how are you feeling right now? And what's your intention for this evening? And answers might be, to relax or disconnect or have joy. And that context of having a gathering with a particular interest and intention is, I think, what makes it really, really powerful. So I've shared the fact that doing something around something that's interested in us feels important to create these things. So we have the motivation. We have the motivation to arrange it and bring people together, and people can feed off our enthusiasm and interest. What else? What other tips might there be to create gatherings? Another tip is just to keep it really simple. Nothing really is required. I think one of the points of inertia for organising these things is the thought that we need to do things, we need to prepare something, we need to have it all ready. And that's not my experience at all. If we're offering something for free with an open heart, if it's not quite ready, or it all is good, everyone just joins in and laughs. And it's the discovery process together that means that we can learn how to create the class and what works and what doesn't work. So being really down to earth and not worrying about having a fixed plan or preparing a lot of things. The other thing that is a good tip, because we might think, oh, I don't have a space to bring people together. And there are so many spaces we can use to bring together. We can meet in parks, we can meet in woodland, we can find a covered area in case it's raining. Potentially we can use our houses or other people's houses. We don't need to book somewhere or pay for a venue. We have space around us that we can use. And this leads me on to another point around being in public space. It's so powerful because it attracts other people in. So I remember with our yoga classes, people might be cycling by and they'll be like, oh, there's a yoga class. And they'd say, oh, is it here every week? Can I come? And we'd be like, yeah, sure, of course you can come. And the other day I was playing guitar with a friend on the grass. Sometimes we meet in my house, but we decided to meet on the grass. And sure enough, one woman came up to me and said, oh, can I come and join you? And it was a person I didn't know. And then she followed on from that by coming to my sound nights 2 weeks in a row. And she's an absolute delight. And I wouldn't have got to meet her if I hadn't already been gathering with someone outside. So gathering outside, gathering in public spaces, even unlikely places, who knows who we're due to meet and who's due to come into this beautiful gathering space. What other tips have I got? Another tip is if we're really lacking confidence and we don't really we're really lacking confidence, we can really ask for expertise in the group. Who knows about this, or has anyone got anything they would like to teach? And everyone's got something they can teach, right? Everyone has something they can teach. And that comes onto a little distinction as well, the difference between teaching and sharing. So there can be gatherings around teaching, we're actually sharing our skills, our expertise. But for instance, with music, I wouldn't be, I suppose I could teach some beginners a few things, but generally, I wouldn't have so much to teach as some people, but I can absolutely bring people together to share. That is something that I can do, and everyone brings the talents that they've got. So again, changing the mindset a little bit, thinking, oh, I haven't got the expertise, to all I'm doing is bringing people together around a shared intention. Unless, of course, we have got gifts to share, like teaching gifts, and we can make the most of those too. Yeah. What other tips have I got? Word of mouth. Relying on word of mouth and being patient. We might think, oh, well, who would come to my gathering? Maybe no one will come. Firstly, that doesn't matter. One hears of these meditation teachers who are sitting for 6 months every week and no one comes for 6 months, but then after several years there are lots of people that come. Not having expectations on who comes and trusting that people will talk about it if they've enjoyed it. I've never had a shortage of people at my sound nights, even though nearly every week I'm totally surprised at who turns up. I'm like, wow, how did they get here? It's miraculous. It has its own momentum. And we don't need to worry about advertising. I've never advertised the sound nights. Don't need to worry about advertising or promotion. We can just talk about it and invite people into the space. What comes to you, having expressed things I have done, what comes to you? Any more thoughts about how you might want to bring people together? Any ideas? Or if you already bring people together, how might you do it differently or expand the possibility? One concern some people have is that maybe they don't have enough time. And a gathering doesn't have to be long. It could be half an hour, even 15 minutes. We'll come together, we'll do a little shared meditation, or we'll come together and we'll share X, Y, and Z. And if we're not taking that time to prepare, if we don't need to prepare, it really doesn't take much time at all. It really doesn't take much time at all. I think my biggest preparation is just cleaning my house a little bit before people arrive, but that does need to be done anyway. So yeah, what ideas come to you? Who might you like to talk about the idea of gathering people together with? Is there anyone that you can think of that would be a good person to maybe collaborate with if you don't feel like doing it on your own? I'm going to reiterate some of the benefits of gathering to really cement and inspire us for the future. The fact that it really can combat loneliness and isolation. It's so precious for some people who live alone to come together into a group and share something that they love. It's so precious. It creates community. It creates a support network and community and friendships that build our society and help us get through difficult times. It gives us the power to receive and to give. Giving and receiving are such important parts of our humanhood. And in a space, we have the power to both give and receive, whether it's our voices or whether it's our producing some sort of art and looking at it, we're receiving someone's beautiful creation, whether it's receiving a poem that's read, giving and receiving. It's fun. It's fun. It's rewarding, it's satisfying, and it's miraculous. Because really we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to come. We don't know what's going to unfold. We don't know where it's going to lead us. We don't know where this step is going to take us in the future by running these gatherings. We have no idea how that might change the course of our lives. Whether it's through a new connection, whether it's through increased confidence, whether it's through it actually fundamentally changing the course of what we do and what we enjoy. Who knows? Who knows? So it's miraculous. Gatherings, I think, could really change a lot about how we live with each other. Intentional gatherings. If we have more intentional gatherings, we get to share our humanhood and learn and grow together to help this beautiful planet be more balanced and thriving. If you've liked this video, please do share it. Share it with anyone you think might be interested in creating a gathering, or you might think has some skills to create a gathering, or might have an impulse to create a gathering. Please do share it. And if you've liked it, you can press the little like. And you can always subscribe to this channel and press little notifications so that you hear about future videos from me. If you want to hear more about me or sign up to my newsletter, you can go to www.resonating.love. Sending you positive vibes to create lovely gatherings, small or big, in whatever way, in whatever context. May you have fun and inspiration.